Morning guys, bit of a different one this week. You're going to follow us throughout the course of the week to see the few different jobs we're on. Got some remedials to do today following a failed EICR, probably be there tomorrow as well. And Wednesday, Thursday we're at a garage where a car has driven into the front wall where the DB is the other side, and they have driven through it to the actual main into the property. There's a pit in the ground which I'll show you. That's been disconnected completely. We've got to temporarily move all of the cables onto a temporary wall while they fix that and then move it all back. So yeah, I thought I'd do one across the course of the week because there's a few different bits. Keep it quite short, keep it snappy, and I hope you enjoy. Let's run the B-roll. Alright, so on the job now guys, straight to it. Put a carbon monoxide alarm up there for the boiler because it's in the loft and there wasn't one. And also the bonding was disconnected, so reconnected it back over there. Is what it is that it's up here, so that's connected again. We're now going to move on down. We'll come down here, flip the light off as I go. In this cupboard here we've got a couple of bits to look at where they've really probably used the wrong type boxes and they're swinging in the wind, so at a minimum we need to refix them, but I think we'll change those for knockout surface. Right guys, just going to head up to this room. So we didn't do the EICR here, but this particular socket was given a C1. I have screwed it back, but I'll give you the backstory when we get over to it. So down here, this single socket, it had no patch screw in that, so that come off. You could pull it off about 1 centimetre. And sorry, I ran upstairs. That was given a C1, immediately dangerous, which seems absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. What would you guys have coded it? It's a simple fix. I know it was an EICR, but I'd have probably just put a patch screw in that and saved the paperwork. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you do. Right, so we're now above this room where the DB is, and there's a light in there that's never worked since they've converted the room. And basically, I'll turn around in a minute, we've got some boards up. There's a 3-core coming from a 2-gang switch. So 2 of the cores are like the common and L1 of the switch, and then the other core is I think in like L1 of the second switch with no power going to it whatsoever, obviously. We've just exposed a JB. There's a normal twin and earth going to this light that's never worked. And I think it's never worked because it's probably not actually got a neutral. But basically, got a JB down here. We're going to get out and take a look at it. And we'll put it in a Wago box and just need to someone's wired it up, probably a DIYer, and they've just cocked it up. So we're just going to sort all that out, and then this light will actually work. And so we'll put that in a Wago box, get the right cores connected with the right cores, so it's got a neutral and a switch wire over there. There's permanent feed here from the board, so simple fix. It's just a classic sign of a DIYer connecting the wrong cores together and not having a light. But the customer that lives here hasn't done it. It must have been done by some DIYer prior, but we're going to get on that. These are our 3 cables. This one goes over to the light. This is our feed in, so the live neutral and earth. And then I've got another 3-core here which goes down to the switch. So before there was no neutral going over to the light, which is down that way, which would be why it wasn't working. And this is just all incorrectly connected in this bad boy. So I'm going to sort that out, whack it in here, and then she'll be working. We have light. Right, it's Tuesday morning, back at the job we were at yesterday. We were here for a few hours in the morning, and we've got some stuff to do in an outbuilding which is that way, which we're going in a bit. I couldn't get in there yesterday, which is why we're back this morning. So in here I've just gone through, as I said, we didn't do the EICR, but one thing that wasn't actually done on it was the RCD tests. So I've gone through and I've done all those. They're all absolutely fine. And then he'd noted down that this cable is entering the enclosure and it's not supported, or the fire rating is impeded. So obviously there's a bit of a hole because they've basically used some grommet strip. I think it's like a 32 knockout. So all I'm going to do down there is put some fire sealant in that, which is perfectly acceptable. It saves taking that out of the board, putting a stuffing gland in, etc. So I'm going to put some fire sealant in there. That's all then good to go on. I've got here, so the board also wasn't labelled, so he tested all the circuits and identified them. We've been through and checked they do what they say they do, other than a couple of unknowns which were left turned on, which we will leave turned off. Standard practice. If we don't know what they are and you've spent some time trying to find them and you can't, leave them turned off, and then if it's found to be something not working, we can come back and revisit. That's all labelled up, so that'll get stuck on. So yeah, fire seal that. All done in here. Board's now labelled up, which it wasn't before, and the two unknowns have just been left turned off. As I said, we didn't do the EICR. We're not here to investigate unknown circuits. So yeah, the previous contractor had actually left them turned on. We've advised we'll turn them off. If something's been found to not be working, we'll put back and we can then test and see what that is outside. Right, so we're in this monster kitchen now, which is next to the house. So the customer is the private chef. There's got this awesome area that's been built. Unfortunately, the contractor's put this socket right by the sink. So we're going to move that along a bit, and then we'll just blank that off. We're going to cut in a new one down here somewhere, see what's going on behind that. We'll blank that one off. We've got some stud buddies which will hopefully help us find the stud. They keep sticking to me, but I'm hoping they're going to stick to the wall. So we've got that to do in here, and then over the other side of the room, basically over there, we're going to be adding the socket in somewhere along that wall. There's already one on it, one end, and we're going to put one on the other. So that's the plan in here. And then lastly, follow me over to this board. We've taken out a couple of blanks from the other board because Serge has now gone in and they're going to go in this gaping hole that they've left. It's also made us some deliciously looking chocolates. I've already forgotten what they are, but they're actually, no, they're white chocolate and coconut with some sort of ganache, I believe, over the top. Correct me in the comments if that is the wrong terminology. They look pretty good. The socket off and the fast fix out. We've got some nice length here to move this along that way. It hasn't actually got to move too far. But there's a bit of a void here and it's been battened off, and there's some sort of tin hat and ply. So we need to get through that and then move it literally not far at all that way to get our distance off of the edge of the sink. Alright, so we've done in here now, guys. What we've ended up doing, there was a socket here. We've added two in. We were initially only going to add one, but it made it easier for us to add in another one and have more access to what we were trying to rod through. So they've got a belly bonus there. And then round over here, sorry about the camera footage, we've moved this socket along so it now complies with regulations in regards to distances from the sink, and that has been patched up and filled. It would just need a little sand and a bit more filler and then it'll be good to go. You can paint that. So all we've got left to do in here is get some readings. We've added the sockets. This is a minor works. Get our readings, check the RCDs, etc. and then we're out of here and we'll see you tomorrow. So guys, I mentioned at the start of the video we're going to be on a couple of jobs throughout the course of this week, or when this was filmed. But unfortunately we did start the other job I mentioned where a car is driven through a wall at a garage. But basically it's been run off a 64 kilowatt Jenny. Overnight we'd run the cable in that's going to be powering that, connected it in the Jenny end, and it was ready. Well, when I say connected in the Jenny end, not terminated, but it's inside the Jenny and then ready to go the other end. Overnight someone cut it out, so there's been a delay to the job as to how we're going to move forward with it. So we'll save all of that footage for another video. This one's a bit shorter than planned, but we'll leave it here. If you haven't done so already, hit the thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button, leave some comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you on the next one.